Baylor's size what concerns you the most?
I mean, when you first look at them, obviously that's where it's got to start. But the thing about Baylor has always been their guard play's never been given the credit it deserves. I mean, in the women's game, when you see the size that they have, that jumps off the page. I mean, they might be bigger than our men's team, but you know, you got to have great guard play, and they always have it. They have Christy Wallace is as good a guard as anybody in the country, but certainly in the women's game, that size is impossible to match up to. And you know, when they keep bringing those kind of bodies into the game, it is a struggle. But statistically, whatever number you want to throw out there, it's mind-boggling. I mean, they're winning their home games by 45 points, and you know, their field goal percentages, their stats look like video game stats, and that's been going on forever. But it's a credit to them and the way they've recruited and the kind of kids that they've gotten and the way they've developed them.
What stands out in particular about the Baylor backcourt this season?
I think the biggest thing for me is, you know, Christy Wallace completely understands how Kim wants to play. They seem to, whether it's Odyssey Sims or Nia Johnson or now it's Christy Wallace, they always have a guard that does exactly what they need. They share the ball. They're not worried about scoring. They're just worried about winning, and they've always had that kind of guard. And you know, Christy's that kind of guard. She's experienced. She's tough-minded. Does everything that they need them to do, and understands completely the system and who she's playing with. And usually they're willing to take a personal backseat to the team success, and that's a great credit to them individually and the way their programs run.
They're the most all-around complete team you'll probably see this season?
You know, I would say probably yes. I haven't really, you know, seen a whole lot of Texas yet, but you know, I think what Texas and Baylor are doing, they've kind of separated themselves, not just in our league, but they're going to be on the short list of teams that have a chance to play in the Final Four. And you know, when you look at those kind of teams, it's depth, it's talent, it's size, it's guard play, it's experience. I mean, they check off all the boxes, and that's why they continue to be rated. You know, Baylor loses one game and not taking any away from UCLA. I mean, it was at UCLA, and Lauren Cox doesn't play, and the Mulkey family was going through some tough times. And, you know, I think that in Texas loses a close game at Tennessee. So, you know, I think those two teams are teams that, you know, are going to be there in the end, and there'll be some great battles between the two of them. So. And unfortunately, you know, for us, it's just one of those things where in our league you play everyone twice, so we're going to get a good look at them, and you know, we get Baylor twice in 2 weeks, and so we're gonna see what they have, but it's similar to what they've been in the years past.
Had that run upset of Texas last year. What's it take to pull that run upset of this Baylor team?
Miracle, I guess, would be. I'm just not lying to you. It's true. You know, I think, you know, whenever you play a team like this, the number one thing is you got to get the fear factor out of it. Most teams lose the game before they even get on the airplane. And in the past, that's what Baylor's done to you. They take your will away from you before they even take the game away from you. So I think that when you play teams like this, it's got to be, you know, a situation where, you know, you're making. Number one, you got to make a lot of shots. Number two, you can't beat yourself, and number three, they can't play the way they normally play, and I think that goes for any, you know, when you're looking at any major upset kind of thing. So, you know, it's our first road game in the conference, and it'll be. I mean, for me, it's about a level of competing and sometimes it's not looking for reasons why things don't happen, you know, and it's a long season and for us, and there's a lot of things that we still have to do to get better, but it'll be an interesting – I'll be really interested to see how our young players handle this environment and who they play and who they're playing against. And I think you're going to learn a lot about yourself in these kind of games, good and bad, and hopefully there'll be more good that comes out of it.
Coach, can you talk about Bridie, just how she's not only grown as a basketball player, but grown into her role this season?
Oh, I'm really proud of her. Really proud of Bridie. You know, she came in here and I kind of joked, and it was sort of a joke, when she came in here in August, her conditioning level was about the same as mine. And she's worked really hard. Her and CB, Cassandra Breyer, our strength coach, have just really worked hard to the point where, we're in an overtime game the other night and she plays 27 minutes. I mean, there's no way that would have happened a couple months ago. She's physical, she's tough-minded, she's a great teammate, she's very outgoing, and she's gonna be a factor. Usually, when you get a junior college player, and we haven't had a ton of them, but historically, they say, oh, junior college players you get for 2 years. You usually get them a year and a half because it takes them a half a year just to figure out the system and school and everything. But she's gotten better. She works hard at it. She's a tough kid. I mean, she took a shot the other day that looked like a shot that was in one of those bowl games yesterday, and she wasn't wearing a helmet or a face mask either. And she came back in the game. I mean, most kids would have sat in the training room and said, I'm good, but she comes walking out and says, I can go in the game. And so she's a tough-minded kid that I think can help this team in a way that no one else on our team can do. And I think that's important to hopefully what we can develop down the line. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.